Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the InNOLEvation Mindset, powered by the Moran College of Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Meadow Manfredini, and today in studio we have Ken Balduff. Ken is actually the founding director of the Innovation Hub and teaches 2 entrepreneurship electives within the JMC, systems thinking and design thinking. So Ken, why don't you talk a little bit about how the Innovation Hub got started and what you do in the Innovation Hub?
Sure. Thanks, Meadow. And hey, everybody. I'd love to tell the story of the Innovation Hub because it's more of a personal story. My background is a bachelor's in music theory, so I have a music background. Later in life, I got into computer science, and I was on the computer science faculty for about 9 years or so, teaching computer literacy and micro applications for business. After those 9 years, the deans and the provost put together a program in interdisciplinary computing, and I was the director of that program for about 9 years, and we taught all kinds of computing and technology courses for all students. And during that time, really cool technology started coming down to be affordable priced, including 3D printers and virtual reality headsets. And so I started having a vision for a space that could provide students with access to emerging technologies. And so I proposed to the provost at that time that we open up an innovation space where students can come and try that stuff out. We could do hackathons, all around technology stuff. And the provost, Sally McCrory, at that time sent me out to start exploring and researching innovation spaces on college campuses. And ultimately, I also looked at a lot of big corporations who were also having innovation spaces as well. And while I was researching innovation, I discovered design thinking. And the more I learned about design thinking, the more I realized it was a really important skill that was missing from college curricula. And so I started looking at how we can bring that to Florida State University. And that's when the Innovation Hub came to be a place where we solve problems using innovation methodologies like design thinking and systems thinking and emerging technologies. And so that's how the Innovation Hub started about 8 years ago. We teach about 300 students design thinking every semester. I have a team of 5 instructors that teach it. We have emerging technology courses offering systems thinking in the spring semester. Just a wide range of courses. I think we have about 8 courses we're offering right now.
That sounds great. Yeah, the Innovation Hub is a wonderful place. I first got introduced to it because I actually took design thinking, and then I took your class, system thinking, as well. But for some people that don't know, what are some other resources that are in the Innovation Hub, and what are some common classes that take place in there? I know you said system thinking, design thinking, but are there some other classes?
Yeah, there's a lot of courses. So first off, the Innovation Hub is in what is it in? The Shores building. I'm in the Johnston building. I was confused. So the Shores building is right across from the Johnston building. So you walk in the space, and the first thing you notice is the big shelves of 3D printers. So as far as things you can do in the Innovation Hub, that's certainly the most visible thing. And we have over 40 3D printers now, and they stay busy pretty much 24 hours a day because you can submit 3D print jobs remotely from any internet-connected computer or device using your FSU credentials. Just log in at innovation.fsu.edu and send a job to the print queue, and we approve it and we print it. And because they take hours to print, a lot of times things print all night long before you pick them up in the morning. But that's simple to do. We now have an immersive media lab, the Rubini Lab we call it, because it was the product of a donation from Gail Rubini, where we have a dozen really high-end gaming PCs, Alienware PCs, that we use for virtual reality development and things like that. We're offering courses in VR development now. So we have a first-level course. We're offering a second-level course in the spring semester. And ultimately, we will have a minor in immersive media design. We're doing the same thing with the Fab Lab. We're offering for the first time in the spring a introduction to digital fabrication is what I think we ended up calling it. So if you want to learn about all the Gadgets in the Fab Lab. That's a good course to take. I believe we're offering it as a 1 credit hour course to start with. Speaking of 1 credit hour courses, we also teach Designing Your Life, which is a really great course for freshmen and sophomore who are exploring different majors and what they want to do with life. It's based on a best-selling book called Designing Your Life, the New York Times bestseller, and it's really a great way to apply design thinking to figure out what you want to do in life at all different stages of life. I read the book, in my 50s, and I found it really helpful in helping me decide different directions to pursue in my life. So even if you don't take the course, I recommend Designing Your Life. We have the Emerging Technologies course offered by the iSchool, several sections of that teach a wide variety of new technologies. We have several courses offered by the Jim Moran College that are offered in the Innovation Hub, so we host a lot of different departments that teach there as well. So check out our website, innovation.fsu.edu. There is a whole page dedicated to the courses we offer there.
I know you guys also have an innovation minor that students can choose to take. What are some benefits you would say, especially for entrepreneurship students, to actually pursue a minor in innovation?
Well, there's great benefits for all students. I mean, naturally, entrepreneurs are innovators, but you don't necessarily have to be an innovator to be an entrepreneur. It's very interesting because the Innovation Hub was born the same month as the Jim Moran College of Entrepreneurship was born. In fact, we went back and forth about spaces where these different programs would be housed. And originally, the building at 111 South Monroe Street was going to be the FSU Innovation Hub. Then we got that brilliant gift from Jim Moran and decided to put the Jim Moran building there. And the Innovation Hub then moved into the Shores building. From the very beginning, we've been talking about this interplay between entrepreneurship and innovation and how that works. So the Innovation Hub is all about problem solving. So you can think of it from an entrepreneurship perspective as early stage entrepreneurship, identifying needs, identifying problems, and then using the methods we teach and the emerging technologies to solve those problems. When we get to the point where we have interesting solutions, it's a question is this a solution that could be a business? Can you commercialize this? Or is this something that's nonprofit or something that we just want to do to fix a problem? And so at that point, we turn things over to the Jim Moran College and the expertise there. So early stage entrepreneurship. And so entrepreneurs who are looking to find methods of identifying new problems and new products and services and solutions, or if they're looking for ways to improve products, services, and solutions for their customers, that's what the innovation courses can help out with a lot. And so also we have a great emphasis on the importance of the disciplines working together to come up with new solutions. We believe that innovation exists kind of at the borderlines between the different disciplines. And so if you get a different perspective on problems, a lot of times new creative ideas are born that way. And so the innovation minor for entrepreneurs, I think, just helps them to be more creative and coming up with more ideas and more successful ideas that are proven to meet a human need.
I totally agree with that. As someone who currently has an innovation minor as well, I do think it really helped me come up with ideas that are creative, but also at the same time scale them out to actually become feasible. But my question now is, along with courses that students can take, entrepreneurship students or any students, are there certain events that go on in the Innovation Hub? I know you guys sometimes have ideathons. What are some events that go on like on a weekly basis, monthly basis?
Yeah. I appreciate that. Actually, we offer a lot of courses, but it's mostly the co-curricular activities that are featured at the Innovation Hub, where we do events and workshops that benefit students outside the classroom. And I think that's where students can really gain a competitive advantage when they're job hunting by the things that they do that are off their transcripts, the things they can say they were involved in. My favorite activity is our design sprints. I'm not sure if you've participated in any, but the design sprints we've offered over the years now, we've kind of perfected them to be in a 24-hour format. And so we've got a few coming up still. We've had a few this semester, but they start at 4 o'clock on Fridays. They go to 4 o'clock on Saturday. But we don't stay up all night. I mean, you can, but students stay in the Innovation Hub working in teams on some type of a problem. We've done issues around aging. We've done human trafficking. We've done smart home design. We've done a lot of different issues that we take on as a challenge. Students are placed in 5-person teams. They work Friday evening into the night, learning from experts how to use the design thinking process and about the particular challenge they're working on. Usually by the time they leave at midnight, they have kind of an idea of a solution they'd like to pitch. And they come back at 8 a.m. the next morning on Saturday. They work through some prototyping and their presentation. They pitch their ideas, usually for cash prizes. And we're out of there by 4 o'clock on Saturday. So it's enough time to develop strong connections with other students. It's enough time to actually come up with pretty good solutions. But it's not so much time that everybody's burned out at the end of it. And so watch for a 24-hour design sprint coming. We have one the last Friday in January when we come back. And that's going to be around moving large populations of people, like in a hurricane evacuation. So it's going to be really cool. We're just planning that now. I'm excited about it. Besides that, we have every Friday at noon we have something going on. I think most Fridays at noon we have free lunch. And so we come and students share their experience with innovation, entrepreneurship. Some of those Fridays are pitches. So we have our ideathons that are sponsored by the Jim Moran College. We do a lot of things in partnership with the Jim Moran College. Anything around Shark Tanks and pitching, is a Jim Moran project. And so those ideathons have a $100 prize, and it's just 5-minute presentation. There's nothing to lose with those. We have workshops on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. And so we put all these events on the FSU calendar, but they're also on the Innovation Hub website. Innovation.fsu.edu.
Of course. And correct me if I'm wrong, but these design sprints are actually open to not just entrepreneurship students, but they're open to anyone of every major and also graduate students, correct?
Yeah. That's a great point, Meadow. The main thing about the Innovation Hub is it's interdisciplinary. That's really the secret sauce there, is that you're able to interact with students that aren't in your major. And I think that's something that students in all of our activities, one of the main things that they appreciate is that without these interdisciplinary activities, they'd never have an opportunity to meet other students outside of their major. And so, again, that's where the magic of innovation lies, I think.
Yes, and I also remember, I don't know if it was last year or the last design sprint, it was actually tailored to human trafficking. And when I took systems thinking, that was an issue that we talked about. Is human trafficking still the issue that you guys kind of talk about when you're with students in the systems thinking class, or is it another one this year?
It'll be another one this year. So this year, I should pitch this as well. I don't know when this is going to be aired, but if it's still possible to register for spring, we're offering the Innovation Grand Challenge as a course. I'm really excited about this because it'll be a pitch competition course where we take on a grand challenge on a global scale. And so students will work in interdisciplinary teams to research a problem, reframe it, use ideation techniques to come up with ideas. This is the whole design thinking process. And maybe some systems thinking as well. It'll blend everything. It's kind of like a capstone course. And in the end, the teams will pitch their ideas to a panel of experts to win prizes. And so I'm not sure what the prizes will be yet, but from my perspective, I've never heard of a 3-credit-hour course where it's one big pitch competition in the end, and there are prizes. I'm excited to offer that for the first time. We kind of did that when you were in systems thinking. We did that in the systems thinking course. This spring, I'm going to allow the groups to pick their systems challenge that they want to take on, and that'll be based on the expertise in each group and the interests in each group. So that's my plan right now. I'm not going to assign a particular challenge. I may suggest some, but we'll see.
One of the things I remember when I took systems thinking that what really made the experience so fruitful was that actually you invited guest speakers to come and speak about the issue. I remember one specifically, Terry, who is actually working in human trafficking here in the local area. Do you plan on bringing guest speakers to future classes, whether that's design thinking? Is that something that's offered in design thinking as well as system thinking and various courses in the Innovation Hub?
Yeah, that's something I'd like to expand for sure. It was such a great experience, and that's important because these methods, design thinking, systems thinking, you don't have to be an expert in the field to carry out the process and come up with solutions, but you do have to have access to experts. You need to be able to learn about the challenge you're working on, and I think the fresh perspective you bring to it is what generates ideas that the experts don't typically think of. I mean, that's the cool part. But for those who haven't experienced these courses, they're all experiential learning. There's very little lecturing that happens in these courses. We launch and we have these practices that students participate in. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think I will work on bringing in experts from FSU. That's the one thing. At FSU, we have access to all these experts. And for them to help only takes 2 or 3 class meetings that they need to be a part of. But also I want to mention we have commercial experts as well. I'm working with NextEra Energy, again, that's Florida Power and Light, to be the sponsors of the Innovation Grand Challenge course next semester. So if we're able to work out an agreement, we would have those experts judging the competition at the end of the semester. But that's another thing the Innovation Hub likes to do, is make these connections between corporations and students, because students are really excited to be part of real-world challenges that the corporations and organizations are confronting every day. And of course, these organizations want to have access to their future employees as well. So I like to blur those lines between what happens in the professional world and what students are doing in their last couple of years at FSU and blend those as much as possible. So that's another kind of goal we have at the Innovation Hub.
Yes, the Innovation Hub also does offer amazing networking opportunities. If someone goes to the Design Think with NextEra, they can meet people that work with NextEra. So it really just creates awesome opportunities for students. But as someone surrounded with so many students, so many entrepreneurs, what advice can you give a student that is looking to either start their own business or is having a creative block when it comes to coming up with an innovative solution for a problem they're currently facing or for something that they want to fix?
Yeah, that's tough because, the stage of life students are in, you don't necessarily have a ton of experience with all of life's situations and challenges. But I think that's where you start. I think it's important to start with something that's meaningful to you, and let that extend into your family and your friends in your own home. Figure out what the challenges are that you faced, what you think is important in life, what do you think it takes to find contentness and joy, and what are the challenges that block you from doing that. And I encourage students to think, towards really meaningful areas, and not so much superficial types of products that people might buy, but things that are going to have meaning to you. Because I tell you what, I've judged so many pitch competitions here at FSU and in the ACC. I'm responsible for a lot of the competitions that FSU goes to with other ACC universities. And the winning products, solutions seem to always be something of really great importance, personal importance to the person who came up with those. So I would challenge you to look for those things in your life. I mean, in your day-to-day experiences. What are your frustrations? What are the personal issues you've confronted? I mean, things like a remote wheelchair that could be controlled with your eyesight. That was one of the winners at the ACC competition, and the student designed that for his dad, essentially. But almost, like I say, all of the really, and it's so easy to pitch those ideas because they're important to you, they have meaning to you, and you can convey that to others as well. So find part of being a college student, I think, is trying to discover where those passions lie, what's important to you, what are your values, what are you going to contribute to the world. So go deep. Don't go wide. Go deep on figuring out what types of solutions you'd like to develop.
That is some really motivating advice. Go beyond surface level. But one of the last things I wanted to ask as well was, where do you see the Innovation Hub being in the next 5 to 10 years? Are there any long-term goals that you currently have for the Hub?
Yeah, for sure. And we have a great team at the Hub. I have to say, the 6 people I work with, we all have the roles we play. We all have different areas of interest, but a great deal of overlapping interest. And I think our strength lies in problem solving and everything around problem solving. I like to refer to it as design. And so that's where my interest lies, in design and what that means. And it's a very vague term that means different things to different people. A lot of people think of design and immediately jump to graphic design or clothes design, But there's also product design, there's industrial design, there's service design. There's all kinds of design. And what that design encompasses in every case is human creativity coming up to develop solutions that are elegant and meaningful. And so I would love for the Innovation Hub just to become a center for all design that occurs at FSU. Not a place that we're responsible for teaching that, but that we bring together all of the departments, all the faculty, all the students that have that interest in designing things and solving the problems of the world, however that works. I see us moving in that direction. And we're increasingly supporting innovation for faculty. We've really had an undergraduate kind of emphasis, and grad students as well, but they have particular interests. But we're trying to be a center for innovation and design and creativity for everyone at FSU, from the undergraduate population to the grad students to the faculty and staff. And then beyond those boundaries, right? How do these populations impact their surrounding community? How do they impact the future businesses that they'll be working for? And so that's it. Creativity, design, and innovation. Those are the 3 areas we're really digging deep in.
The Innovation Hub has done a great job striving for that goal, which also leads me to ask, within the last 8 years that the Innovation Hub has been here at Florida State University, what can you see has been one of the biggest impacts for the university as a whole, or for students and faculty, that the Innovation Hub has provided for everyone?
That's a great question. I really feel like we are designing, innovating the future of higher education, because we all see this movement out of big lecture halls, out of the sage on the stage type of mentality of teaching, into allowing students to experience education and also to take ownership of their education. It's not something we can push on students. And so to engage students through creative activities and give them the opportunity to actually have an impact in the world while we're doing this, I think that's brand new at FSU. Certainly certain faculty do this, but we're making it a part of the formal education process at FSU. And I think in so doing, we are setting an example for universities around the world. So I'm proud of that.
Yes, it's an awesome innovation hub. I really do think that any university can benefit from having an innovation hub on campus. But before I end this all off, do you have anything else you want to say about the Innovation Hub? Maybe what are your hours of operation if someone doesn't know where to find the Shores building, where that's located, and just I know you touched upon some upcoming events, but any upcoming events in the spring that you want to reemphasize?
Well, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me just, the first off is innovation.fsu.edu. Everything is there. You can sign up for newsletters. Also, I should mention we have a student organization, the Seminole Innovators. Oh my gosh, how did I not mention that? They are driving the Innovation Hub, and they work on various technology projects throughout the semester. There are students that come together who want to get innovative, want to learn about emerging technologies, but really don't know much about any of it yet. And so this is the place to start. The Seminole Innovators, you can find out more about them on our website as well. They host our Friday lunch hours. Our hours are fairly standard. We open at 8 a.m., so we do have 8 a.m. classes going on. Monday through Thursday, we're open till 9 p.m. Friday, we close at 6, except for this week, finals work, we're closing early Thursday as well. We're closed on weekends right now. Check out our courses and just come visit. Ask the person at the front desk to show you around the place, and just don't be shy. We're open to all students, like Strozier. Just come and walk around. A lot of space just to sit down and study with your friends, have a snack, It's a very casual, comfortable place with a lot of great people for you to meet.
Yes, and I did want to add as well the Seminole Innovators. I know a little bit about them too. Not only do they create opportunities and have like weekly meetings just talking about innovation and technologies, but they actually have some projects that they're working on. Do you happen to know any of the projects that they have? I know from what I can remember, they have a vending machine that they're currently working on, as well as a mobile app. Happen to know more information about those projects?
Well, we take on projects as they come. So we are looking for project leaders. Also, I should mention we hire about 30 students a year. That occurs by putting your application in the spring semester for hiring the next academic year. But we have student facilitators that facilitate the project. The vending machine project is going to be in FSU News this week. It's they're changing an old snack food vending machine into a vending machine that distributes artwork. It's pretty cool. We have an app team. We have a game team. I think they're developing a game of some sort. And so we cover a lot of different skills. And you don't have to have any background. You're welcome to join these teams. There's like a dozen students or so on each team. So very popular student organization. And I think that covers that question.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast today. And I want to thank all you guys for tuning into another episode of the InNOLEvation Mindset, powered by the Jim Moran College of Entrepreneurship. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment down below, like, and subscribe, and we'll put that back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.